And now, graduates, it's time to hear from one of your own, Gustavo. I think he's a one name, just Gustavo, right? Yeah, that's okay. Gustavo Martinez Contreras. He had a pretty impressive reporting chops when he arrived at the J School, having already won a number of journalism awards. We recruited him straight from El Diario La Prensa, New York's leading Spanish language daily. Gustavo was born in El Paso, Texas, and raised in Mexico City. As an undergrad, he chose to study bilingual journalism at the University of Texas, El Paso. He came to us to fine-tune his multimedia skills, especially videography, he said. And he stayed to become, well, according to one professor, a rock star. Gustavo chose the international reporting concentration, covering New York's immigrant communities and traveling to Israel with his classmates and the West Bank to report on a variety of stories. For his required summer internship, he worked as a video journalist at Periodico Reforma in Mexico City. Last spring, he produced and co-hosted a live broadcast at New York Public Radio, a show about soccer's growing presence in the American sports landscape. It was live streamed and picked up by MSNBC and Latino USA. He also served as the president of the school's chapter of the National Association of Hispanic Journalists. One student remembered the time she and Gustavo were on assignment to shoot a video clip for their virtual reality reporting class. Quote, Gustavo had the idea of clamping the camera to the outside of the subway car. We sat on the station platform while he tried to convince me what a good idea this was. I kept saying, but it's dangerous. In the end, we got one of the most incredible 360-degree video clips I'd ever seen. Gustavo's like that. He challenges you. After graduation, Gustavo's headed to Paris, where he'll work and study under the J School's exchange program with the Sorbonne. Please welcome Gustavo.
Thank you. Just before I start, you guys look beautiful here. It's the best view that I could have. Thank you. Just gonna take a photo for you guys. Great. Bad lighting though. Okay. Thank you, Associate Dean Mendelson, for that introduction. Thank you, Trustee Sunshine, Chancellor Milliken, and our guest speaker, Marti Barron of the Washington Post, for celebrating this day with us. And now, let me get started. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, and it's a new day. It's a new life for all of us. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel real good. Hola, familia y amigos. Gracias por acompañar a la generación 2016 hoy en el día de nuestra graduación. Hello, family and friends. Thank you for joining the class of 2016 on our graduation day. Now, let me hear how you're feeling, guys. Come on, cheer up. Come on, it's your celebration. Gente de la J School, ¿cómo se sienten? Eso. Es para mí un gran honor estar aquí. I am very honored to be here today. I want to dedicate this moment, quiero dedicar este momento a la memoria de dos personas que ojalá estuvieran aquí conmigo, to the memory of two people I wish were here with me today. Mi tía, my aunt, Graciela, y mi hermano Guillermo, my brother, Guillermo, a quienes extraño todos los días. It is thanks to their love and support, in part, that I'm standing here. Tía Cachela, Canuta, Memo, Coquis, los extraño mucho. I miss you very much. This is for you. Also, I want to express my gratitude to my mom, María del Carmen, y mi hermano Edgar, que vinieron desde México. To my mother, María del Carmen, and my brother Edgar, who came from Mexico to be here today. Los amo. Now, let's get to business. Class of 2016. We did it. Sí se pudo. In just a few minutes, we will be free from the CUNY J School yoke. Let the search for jobs begin, and let's remain hopeful that one day we can make, I don't know, hundreds of dollars a year. Let's enjoy this moment, because tomorrow the clock starts ticking, and 6 months from today, we have to make the first payment on our student loans. Can you believe that 16 months ago, we walked into 219 West 40th thinking we would conquer and save the world? Then we came up against the dreaded craft class, as well as legal and ethics, multimedia, interactive, and always, always, always deadlines. Then we struggled into second semester, and craft was still there every Tuesday morning, like a school bully that will give you no peace. We were expected to crunch data and report at the same time, to create interactive pieces that only our friends clicked on. Bob Sasha made some of us sweat blood in his video storytelling class. Hey guys, don't call it B-roll, call it scenes. And don't be late, because if you're late, I'm gonna effing scream at you. Bob knows that I cleaned up that quote for him. But then, that was when each of us began specializing in a reporting area. I have to take a moment to thank Brooke Clark, the director of my specialty, international reporting. She pushed me to be the best that I could be. And as I just say this, I realized that sounds like the old US Army's slogan. But it did feel like boot camp with her, so yeah. After that came summer internships that took us across the world and around the country. We came back to find our capstone deadlines looming. Man, I never imagined stress could be so much fun. I cannot stop laughing at the paradox of my current situation. Just when the country elected Donald Trump as president, a job he landed after calling my people rapists and criminals, you, the class of 2016, elected a Mexican boy from the desert, Directo de la Frontera, as your student commencement speaker. Okay, I must say something though. Trump and I have something in common, a couple of things in common. We both won a wild election, and I want to know if that recount for student commencement speaker is still going on. No? Yeah? Okay. Just want to know. But this is sad. This is really sad. Trump and I, have the same birthday. June 14. Yeah, I know. On the bright side, that's also the birthday of Che Guevara. But let me get to the body of my sentiments, the truth that I want to speak here today. Why did we do this? Why did we enroll in this torturous program? People might have asked you that. They certainly asked me more than once, from the moment that I stepped into my first craft class up to about a week ago. With all your experience, Gustavo, why did you come to grad school? Well, I remember the questionnaire I answered for the class Facebook. Under dream job, I wrote to take photos of penguins for National Geographic. Well, it's not a joke, it's a dream. It's a dream. No, but seriously, I want to believe, yo quiero creer, that most of us got into this thing called journalism because we thought, or at least we hoped, teníamos un poquito de esperanza, that by telling untold stories, we could bring about change. Nothing new, really. One of our predecessors, an investigative journalist by the name of Ida B. Wells, defined our mission, if not our destiny, when she said, "The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them. And so shall we, especially, as our speakers have mentioned already, we know that dark times are coming." I'm sure that after this presidential election, you are tired of hearing that there's no better time, nor a more dangerous one, to be a journalist in this country. But for me, the decision to come to the J School was about a few things. I wanted to hone my multimedia skills. The program was affordable. I got a scholarship. The curriculum was challenging. And in all, it was a great bang for the buck. But perhaps most important, I thought that graduating from the J School would help me get out of the box in which many want to keep me. A hard fight that will not end after getting my degree. Just want to make sure I'm getting my degree, right, guys? Sarah? Yeah? Okay, well, still in the air. No comment, okay. He declined to comment, right? Like, okay. Because no matter how much work you do, there are people who will have a preconceived notion of what you are because your name isn't American enough and your history doesn't conform to their limited understanding of today's society. Not long ago, I sat down with a recruiter from a leading national newspaper, hoping to keep alive my dream of doing bigger things. The recruiter saw my resume and asked me, have you worked in a newsroom in the US? I was confused, but didn't hesitate to point out that I had worked for Latino publications in New York, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Dallas, El Paso. You know, the US. But this person replied, I don't know how to say this. Have you worked in a US newsroom? And that's when I understood what she meant. In moments like that, the world around you moves in slow motion. I tell you this story because in the words of our distinguished guest speaker, the truth is not meant to be hidden. It's not meant to be suppressed. It is not meant to be ignored. It is not meant to be disguised. It is not meant to be manipulated. It is not meant to be falsified. Otherwise, wrongdoing will persist. In a year in which a racist, misogynistic demagogue got elected president of this country, we have spoken aplenty about how and why the media got it wrong. And as the press self-flagellates and tries to find a way to do its job better in these crazy times, I have yet to hear that part of that self-reflection is figuring out how to find new voices, journalists who mirror today's America. My story is not unique. It's as if the acts of journalism committed in Spanish or any other of the languages spoken in this country are below the standard set by the English language media. Throughout my career, I took my cues from my journalism hero, Rubén Salazar, the Mexican-American journalist who covered everything from the Chicano community to the Vietnam War. He also went to UTEP. Go Miners. Just as he did, I tried to give voice to the Latino communities, coverage that the mainstream media pretty much ignores. It's easy for the establishment to say, aren't we all the same? Aren't we all Americans? Well, obviously, some people think we're not. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in the tumultuous time that we are in now. If the press is serious about changing, what needs to change are the voices that have always told the story. In a country where almost 38% of the population is not white, newsrooms across the nation show a meager 17% of diversity. And as the rungs of the ladder go up, the diversity numbers go down. That's the homework that Marti and his peers will need to do soon because the times are changing. But there's hope. Marti, I am pleased to learn that you have recruited two of our best classmates, Cassie Wall and Nicole Lewis. They're leaders and stars, and I admire them. And soon they will join some of our other alumni at your paper. I'm also proud of the winds of change here at the J School. This year, we welcome Miguel Paz, the first Latino to be hired as full-time faculty. And at a time when the country is becoming more multilingual and multicultural, the J School had the vision to add a Spanish language master program led by the wonderful Graciela Mochkovsky. What's more, this year, the diversity among the student body reached 61%, making it seem as if the newsroom of the future is no longer a dream. On that note, I want to celebrate all those at the school who made today possible, with a special shout out to Yajaira Castro and Krista Noel of Student Services. They consoled us, they advised us, and they fed us 2,000 slices of pizza each semester. And to my classmates, I wish I could name all of you. Compañeras y compañeros de la generación 2016, I'm so proud of being one of you. I came here thinking that the program was going to help me grow, and it did. But it also put me in the midst of people who inspire me. I cannot imagine this program and this life without you. We supported one another. On the nights we worked so late that we got kicked out of the building, when our interactive projects didn't interact at all, when our editing software crashed, and when we were buried under an avalanche of assignments. We made each other laugh, we made each other better, we made each other shine. We turned into a family, and you, all of you, became my heroes. Thank you.
Marty, that's a tough act to follow.